is why. The clip I'm about to show you is why this is perfection.
Have to be able to do it. Yes, ma'am.
Governor, hi. I want to ask you about the bill that you're signing here today. You're a loyal supporter of former President Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump is now a resident in Florida, and he was deplatformed. Is this bill for him?
The bill is for everyday Floridians. This is what we said, and it will allow any Floridian to be able to provide what they're doing. So, but I do think that's another issue that has been brought to bear. When you deplatform the President of the United States, but you let Ayatollah Khomeini talk about killing Jews, that is wrong. Thank you, guys. God bless everybody.
Guys, let me explain here what just happened. Ron DeSantis today filed and signed a amazing piece of legislation. A piece of legislation that is so revolutionary, that is so important in our common dialogue, that is so important to our country, so important indeed, in fact, to our movement. That piece of legislation is a piece of legislation that says quite plainly that big tech, because they serve as the town square, because big tech, Facebook, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Instagram, if you are watching this video, you are watching it on a large tech platform, presumably, it says that these platforms must function fairly. That's what I believe a lot of the people at these platforms wanted in the first place when they designed them. Ron DeSantis said so in that statement, and he's 100% right. These platforms have been weaponized by the left, and indeed, much of that is a product of the people who staff them. Much of that is a product of the people who are living in the place where the companies are founded and where the companies hire in San Francisco. In some ways, you can barely blame them for that. I know for a fact that these companies, many of them were started to promote, not to suppress, free speech. And what this bill in Florida does is state with clear guidelines that these companies will be free speech companies once more in the state of Florida. And, most importantly, there is recourse for average Americans who wish to have their voices heard. Via the First Amendment, they do have a right to have their voices heard. And when you suppress an American's speech, it is illegal. And so you have to look at this from a constitutional perspective, and you have to look at this from a perspective of the current and modern day that we live in, where everything is politicized. But some things should not. If this is indeed a free speech platform and indeed the medium of communication for a modern era, which I believe, you know, I am a champion, obviously, of social and digital media, then they must be open and they must be transparent in their user base as to what their policies are and how they're being enforced. We have a right to that as an American. You wouldn't want your phone lines cut off because someone listening to your phone call decides they don't like what you're saying to your mother. And that is the same principle that applies on social media. That's why they have protections in our laws. And to remain protected, they need to function with transparency and fairness for all Americans. This is a beautiful bill and a beautiful response there. You should not be deplatforming people who are the President of the United States and someone who received 85 million votes, and then not deplatforming a vicious and evil, tyrannical dictator who calls for the outright genocide of an entire group of people based on their race. Yeah, that's right, Ayatollah Khomeini. Bravo, Ron DeSantis, you absolute goat. Bravo, bravo, bravo.